What's up, makeup minions? I'm Kim Witte from WitteArtistry, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button below to become part of my family. I hope you've been enjoying all of these extra Halloween videos. This time I'm turning into Micheal Myers from the new Halloween movie. I cannot wait to see it because it looks so scary. If you'd like to help support my dream job and this channel, please feel free to become a sponsor on my Patreon page. So yes, I know Micheal Myers does wear a mask, but I thought it would be really cool to create a makeup, so if you wanted to actually wear this for a costume, you could eat, you could emote, and you'd be a lot more comfortable. I'm wearing a wig cap to start out, and I am blocking out my eyebrows with some Elmer's washable glue stick. Once I push those hairs upwards and outwards, I am letting it dry, and then I am powdering it with some translucent powder. Also, just in case if you guys ever want to check out some of these products, I always have them linked in my video's description below. I'm starting off with a base of an off-white yellow color that I just mixed up using water-activated body paints, but you could use cream makeup or alcohol makeup or grease paint. Then I am going over that with a layer of white. I am going to be using a wolfe sponge basically for this entire makeup base. So the new mask looks like decaying rubber, so it has lots of texture, lots of whites, lots of greens and yellows and everything in between. So that's just what I'm doing here. Blend it on out. I want to keep it kind of translucent looking at first so I can have a really good layer of color. If you would like to help support me in a different way, I do make my own t-shirts and sell them. These are my creepy Halloween designs. The links are in the description and comments below. Thank you guys. After my layer of white and that off yellow color, I am adding a little bit of green. I want it to be muted and sort of make the mask look grungy and old because this mask, for some reason, looks sort of like the rubber has been sitting out in the rain for a really long time and has just kind of decomposed. Once I add a layer of color, I'm sort of just muting it and blending it in a little bit by adding another layer of white on top of that. Also, I think it's very important whenever you do makeups of a character that you are following reference images the entire time. Stipple on some more light brown and also a brown green just to really make it look gross. Outline that neckline just with some gray. I want to create the illusion that my skin and this paint is actually a mask. Add in some dark gray. Really just stipple it on all over the place. This is just a layering game of different textures and different colors to create that nasty aged rubber. Now that all the base colors are done, I am outlining my eye sockets. I will be using a dark brown basically to create all of the hash marks and wrinkle lines, also with some gray as well. So I'm making my chin look more pronounced. I am creating some wrinkling. I'm also emphasizing my smile lines. But wrinkle up your forehead and your face and just sort of see where you naturally wrinkle. Then take a gray brown and just emphasize that with a little line. The texture of the new Micheal Myers mask is really beaten up, has holes in it, has all these wrinkles in it. So I'm doing my best to copy the line pattern direction that's on the mask, but if it's not exact, that is just fine. Do the same thing on your neck. A fun trick you can do with water-activated body paint to make things blend together more easy and just to look more realistic is to take a chisel brush and just dip it lightly in water. Make sure it's not dripping or anything, but then you just gently stroke over the paint you have put down. This feathers out the edges and sort of blends it into the neighboring colors, making it look a lot more realistic. Use this technique all over your face and neck. And then in selective areas, I went back in with that gray-brown color just to add more hash marks and more detailing. The new Micheal Myers mask has these like rotten holes in the neck and also on the edge of your eyebrow and cheek. So be really careful and make tiny little jagged holes. Outline the top edge of it a little bit darker, or in a little bit darker color, because the light would cast a shadow down into the hole. Give your lips some hash marks as well. Add some more rotten holes. And then I'm filling in the rotten holes with a dark brown color. I'm darkening up my smile lines right here. The mask also sort of looks like it's frowning and more aged, so I'm adding like little inward marks at the edges of my lips. Then fill in my lips with the same base colors that I did on my face before. Now it's time for some highlights. With a slightly lighter yellow-green color, I am dabbing it over my nose and cheekbones, and also the tops of my eyebrows, just to make those structures face forward and pop out a little better. Now I'm darkening my eyebrow wrinkles just with a dark gray again. Add some more wrinkling lines around the edges of the mask and really deepen the crevices that are super dark on the actual mask. So apparently this is like one of the best years for Halloween movies this October, or just like monster movies in general. Did you guys see any of the new movies that came out? If you did, please let me know in the comments below and maybe we could talk about them. I decided to add more of those nasty little holes on the other side of my face. The more I looked at the mask from the movie, the more detail I noticed in it. They put a lot of time into that prop. Outline the eye holes in black body paint. I want this to appear as it is a mask and that the mask is resting on my face, so it will cast a shadow. Thicken the edge of the eye hole on the upper half, just because that's where the light is going to make the shadow the darkest. Then with a wet brush technique, I am blending the black downwards onto my eyelid. This will make it look like it is a mask and the mask is casting a shadow onto my eyelid. Apparently, I cannot talk today. Blend out the edges of your smile lines again. For all the dirt and grime on the mask, I thought using a black cream makeup would be the best way to really add some stippling and texture in dirt. So that's just what I'm doing here with your good old-fashioned stipple sponge. My favorite way to make highlights on clothing and wrinkles is to use Mehron Clown White cream makeup. So how you apply this is just using a chisel brush and gently dab it onto the area that you want to protrude forward. Right now, I'm just applying it in all the areas that I want to have highlighted, but I'm not blending them out yet. Just put down the paint on top of the ridges, and now I am blending them. The best way to blend is just to gently tap, and the more you tap, it'll actually pick up pigment from the body paint below and just create this like really soft gradient. I really love this technique, and I like using white cream makeup for that the best. Highlight the edge of the mask on your neck just so it looks like it is popping off your skin. And another spot that would have a really stark highlight is going to be the lower edge of your eye holes on the mask. Gently feather them out a little bit. A technique I also like to use for shading is to incorporate some eyeshadow. So with my BH Cosmetics 120 color eyeshadow palette, I am using the light gray to add some more realistic shadows to the wrinkled areas. This is just on the edges of my mouth, my chin, and I wanted to create a little lip underneath the eye holes that sort of look like eyelids. I don't know, it's what's on the mask. Add an intense highlight to the upper edge of your lip. Bust out your darkest black shadow. I am using the Urban Decay Smoked Palette, and I'm tapping it all over my eyelids. This will make it really recede and look like I am wearing a mask, and that the brow of the mask is really thick and is casting a shadow down onto my eyelids. Use that black shadow to darken the lower edges of the mask. This will make it look like it's casting a shadow onto the skin so that this appears as though it is a mask, even though it's not. Put on a wig. I modified a cheap Amazon mullet wig and just cut it up, covered it in black paint, and made it look super nasty. And thank you so much to my friend for letting me borrow this wonderful Micheal Myers costume. I also ordered this knife off of Amazon. All these links are in the description, and I darkened it up with some black hairspray and covered it with fake blood. The fake blood dripped so cool, and it ended up staining the knife red, so it worked out wonderfully. And here's the final results. If you like it, please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button. Please share this with anyone who wants to do this makeup for Halloween, and oh, if you ever do these makeups, please tag me in them on Instagram. I love seeing your guys' artwork. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. I have been running around my lawn like this, and the faces of my neighbors as they drive by is priceless. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell next to it so you don't miss any more crazy Halloween videos. Happy Halloween, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful season. Thank you so much for watching. Also, huge thank you to my wonderful Patreon producers, which without you guys, I wouldn't be able to make really cool makeups like this, so thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Do I wave with like my knife?